Building stronger ties through South-South cooperation with free movement of people and goods within the zone, according to officials, should be the bedrock if the ideals of the regional body is to be achieved.
The total contribution made in respect of Stabilization and Cooperation Fund, totaling 33.6 million out of the 50 million, the report indicates that the Gambia was the only country that had fully paid up her contribution to both funds. Whilst Ghana and Sierra Leone fully paid up their contribution to the SCF. Honorable Ministers, distinguished governors, building strong institutions is the sufficient condition for the takeoff of the proposed monetary union in the WAMS.
To get to our destination, therefore, we need great courage and determination. And of course, we need to learn key lessons from our partners, the European Union. Europe's single currency is by no means a disaster, as some pundits may want us to believe. It has met its main goal of price stability, for example. Yet, if the troubles in Greece, Ireland, and the other small Eurozone countries, of course, have taught us lessons, it is that, first of all, sustained convergence is indeed the rock on which monetary union is built in the first instance.
The institutionalization of the single currency for the zone is expected to be the vehicle to foster integration and trade, and by extension create a strong and dynamic sub-regional body which could serve as a building block towards greater continental integration. Her Excellency Vice President Jai Seri further went on to reaffirm Gambia government's commitment to the drive.
My government would continue to provide unflinching political support to the WAMSI project and the ECOWAS-wide integration program, and to take all necessary action and steps and measures to succeed. I urge therefore all member countries to make a similar undertaking. I understand that, of course, creating a vast open zone to some of us could be unsettling and sometimes provokes fair opposition. But integration, we will all agree, is critical for the rapid development of our region.
Effective integration and harmonization through the deepening of South-South cooperation and the provision of the appropriate infrastructures, among other mechanisms, should be the bedrock of the steps taken by the regional body if any meaningful achievement is to be attained. Samuel Ba, GRTS.
Meantime, the 2013 end-of-year meetings of West African monetary institutions and finance policy makers continued Thursday at the Keraba Beach Hotel. The conclave of the Committee of Governors of Central Banks of the West African Monetary Zone witnessed, among other things, the election of a new chairman, as well as the crafting of a way forward in achieving a single currency. Modu Bajan picks up the rest of the story.
In the ongoing statutory meetings of West African monetary institutions, the day was partly set aside for the 30th meeting of the Committee of Governors of Central Banks of West African Monetary Zone. In his address to the gathering, the Governor of Central Bank of the Gambia, Amadou Koli, described the meeting as a worthy cause in their strive to set up a single currency.
I wish to welcome you to the 30th meeting of the Committee of Governors of the West African Monetary Zone, hosted in the Gambia. Let me also seize this opportunity to thank the management and staff of the West African Monetary Institute, WAMI, for their tireless efforts in the effective implementation of the WAM's agenda, which is an integral part of the ECOWAS single currency program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your presence here today is a clear manifestation of the region's unwavering commitment to the regional integration agenda and the goal of establishing a durable monetary union and a vibrant single economic space in the WAMS.
For his part, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, who serves as Chairman of West African Monetary Zone's Committee of Governors, Dr. Henry A.K. Wampa, recalled the commitment of the member states to the aim of achieving a single currency, adding among several things that progress has been registered.
If I may recall, it was in the city of Banjul that member countries made a declaration in May 2005, committing ourselves to monetary union within the WAMS member states by December 2009. Since then, the Banjul Declaration, as it was then called, has been succeeded by the Abuja Action Plan of 2009, which also set January 2015 as the commencement date for monetary union within the zone. As we approach the deadline, we need to reassess the status of the project.
The actualization of a single currency in the West African sub-region is by far not among those things achievable by lip service. As such, Koli, the host governor, spoke of several requirements which require redress regarding the attainment of a single currency.
As we progress in our economic integration process, it is quite important that we harmonize the macro-institutional environment and monetary policy frameworks of our countries. This requires the implementation of the roadmap. The macro-institutional factors under the roadmap include the legal framework and issues relating to the depth of the financial sector. Harmonization of legal frameworks requires strong political support, a timetable that is realistic, and also it should be consistent with the plans of the central banks.
It appeared that almost every aspect of the gathering is more or less about checks and balances for an effective single currency. The Director General of West African Monetary Institute, Dr. Abuaku Englama, also delved into recent developments of the monetary zone.
Macroeconomic developments and convergence. Mr. Chairman, during 2013, global economic growth remained subdued, averaging 2.6%, a significant deceleration from 3.2% recorded in 2012. The sluggish output growth highlights the persistence of new policy challenges for the advanced as well as the emerging and developing economies. Notwithstanding the slowdown in general economic activities, the pace of growth in the WAMs continued to be strong at 6.7% in this review period.
The conclave has in effect elected the governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia as new chair of the West African Monetary Zone's Committee of Governors, replacing the outgoing chairman, Ghanaian Dr. Henry A.K. Wampa. By the elapse of these and other conclaves of the various monetary institutions of the sub-region, many finance and economic experts are of the view that ECOWAS bloc's long-awaited ambition of a vibrant single currency will be realized. Modu Bajan, GRTS News.
A training program for a selected number of doctors from the Gambia and other ECOWAS countries is underway in Banjul. The capacity building program on endoscopy and gastroenterology conditions and their management is jointly organized by Horizons Trust Gambia in partnership with the Ministry of Health and the Medical Research Council, with material support from the Karl Storz Medical Company in Germany. Samuel Ba reports.
Horizons Trust, the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and the Medical Research Council is leading the first gastroenterology regional training in Banjul. The training brings together health specialists and trainers from across the world to prepare and update our regional health workers on the principles and practice of digestive and liver diseases with cutting-edge endoscopic skills for the 21st century.
The Gambia has had a few firsts, but we're really happy to be involved in this because digestive diseases, gastroenterological problems are very prevalent here, and the lack of endoscopy facilities has been a huge problem. People would have had to travel to Dakar or the UK. And so having this here not only helps the Gambian people by making sure that we make timely diagnosis, we give timely treatment, which will have a huge impact on the health of the Gambian people.
This regional training, the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa, forms part of efforts to arm these doctors with skills to power disorders in digestive ailments, which falls within the core objective of Horizons Trust.
The Trust is very happy to organize and be part of this cause for a number of reasons. First, the training and capacity building for health workers falls within the objectives of the Trust. Secondly, the involvement of ECOWAS participants will motivate the Trust in broadening its mandate